Hey guys, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about my ulnar decompression surgery yesterday on June 2nd, 2026. So, once I got out of the surgery yesterday, I got up and I'm like, oh, I'm not that sleepy. I woke up after about 15 minutes and then I got my phone and I just talked about having the surgery. So, I talked very minimally about what happened years ago. So, as I said, I moved to LA in 2005. You guys know that. And I went to UCLA for a year for screenwriting in the UCLA professional screenwriting program. And then I went home for the summer. In 2006, I had hair transplants done for the first time. And I had a little liposuction done on my old tummy tuck, which was awful. And then by the fall, I went back to LA. And I had moved from Westwood near UCLA to Santa Monica because my landlady Yola at the time had an apartment building there. So I moved there because it was less money, but there was no AC there and it was an old building. It needed a lot of updating, but it was a nice place. But as soon as I moved there, I was starting to look for work. I was going door to door, restaurants, retail. I was submitting on Craigslist everywhere, all different places, and I was online a lot, making YouTube videos. I was doing the thing called Stick'em. It was a chat room where people will go on live camera, about 8-9 people per room, and they just talk. Mostly YouTube celebrities, YouTube posters, people who were on live video back at the time of 2006 and 7. So we did that, and while I was doing that, and I was writing another screenplay, I was writing another feature film. It was about a funny comedic movie with a cynical tone to it. It was funny in my own way, and I was writing it. And then I remember I was on the computer a lot with my elbow on the desk, the left one. So on my grandmother, what would have been my grandmother, my nana on my mom's side, her 94th birthday, because she died at 91 in 2003. It was 2006. The morning of October 26th, 2006, I woke up. In the middle of the night, I took a shower. I remember that, and it was hot water. And I'm like, why is my pinky numb? I'm like, maybe I burned it in the shower with the hot water, and I didn't know. And then later that day, my mom called me, and she said her Aunt Jenny died. That was my grandmother's sister. She died on what would have been my grandmother's 94th birthday. How weird is that? So, and then I'm like, Mom, my pinky is numb. Oh, just wait it out. And then the 27th went by, 28th went by, several days went by, and it was still numb. And I'm like, it's numb, and I have a little pain near my elbow. Go to the hospital. Maybe you had a mini stroke, maybe something. Who knows? Go. So I went to St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica. I went there. They did tests. They're like, no stroke, nothing. I'm like, but why is it sleepy? Why is it numb? Oh, you have a family doctor. I'm like, I moved here last year in 2005 in the fall. I don't have a family doctor yet. And so they gave me a list, like, oh, you live in Santa Monica? Go to the Akasha Center. They do like holistic medicine there. They can give you acupuncture. So I went there, and I told the doctor, he's a nice guy, he's an Indian guy, and he goes, what's wrong with your finger? I'm like, it's sleepy. Oh, it's not in pain, but it's sleepy. Okay, that's good. So he did acupuncture on it. Acupuncture. I keep saying acupuncture. He did that in the fall of 2006, late November. And then I remember I had the interview at CBS, and he was rooting for me. Mark, great, you're going to get the job. I know it. So then we kept in touch, me and Karen, the boss at CBS Page program, and all at the same time, my pinky was still numb and my arm was numb, my elbow. And they gave me a cast to put on at night when I slept. It got all dirty and dusty. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But then the acupuncture did help. And then the pain went down. And then I got the job at CBS. And then the pain came back. And I had to go get acupuncture again. So that happened into 06 and 07. And I think maybe into 08. And every time I'd have pain on the pinky, the numbness, and then in the elbow, I get acupuncture. And then little by little, it sort of went away, but the pinky was always numb. And I'd be like flexing my wrist and everything, making a fist, and I could feel like the bones near my elbow, like they were so thin. I'm like, maybe this is from losing all the weight, but like I could feel like kind of like a pressure there. It's kind of like a ooh, you know. So that was what was going on. And then I got the job at Ulnar Hawaiian Barbecue in 2017, and lifting and lugging and pulling heavy frozen stuff hurt me again, my elbow and my pinky. So this went on 17, 18, and 19, 2019. And I went to another doctor in, I think, Sherman Oaks, a Chinese doctor, and he did acupuncture and massage. And I went there maybe 3 or 4 times for him, and it went away right away. But the pinky was still numb. Then I moved home in 2019, and I got a family doctor here, and I told them the problem. They said, anything wrong with you? I said, well, I have this numb pinky. So they said, I think it was 2021 or so, because I was getting, pain again when I was working at Home Depot, lifting things. And they said, I did acupuncture for that too, I think. And they said, okay, get a nerve test done. They're going to put needles in you. Like, oh no, I was afraid. I didn't want needles put in me, but I waited it out. And then in December of 2025, I was at work, and between my thumb and my pointer finger, it was aching and hurting for days and days and days, like 2 weeks. And we're making a fist and everything. I'm like, what is this? So then I went to the urgent care, and the doctor goes, is something wrong with your pinky on the left side? I said, yeah, it's numb for years and years. So then he goes, put your 2 hands out. Your left hand is thinning. There's a lot, the muscle mass is going away. So let me do a test on it. So we did x-ray and everything, whatever they did. And he found out that it was severe nerve damage in there. And it was, he referred me to a specialist. I did an x-ray there, whatever the thing they do there. And they said it's severe ulnar nerve damage. So they said, it's been 20 years, almost 20 years. And they said, if you keep this not, treated, if you don't get this done, your fingers are going to curl up so much that you won't be able to pick up anything with your left hand in another couple of years. So they said I have to have ulnar nerve decompression. So I blame the doctors in Los Angeles. Everyone in Los Angeles is so great. Anyone who's there that made it makes it anywhere. They're so real. They're so great. Any profession, whether it's doctors, lawyers, even phony people in the entertainment business. So yeah, now I'm in a little pain. I've had this sling on since the surgery. I said, well, I have to have it on for 48 hours. I have to keep my arm elevated in my chest for 3 days, 48 hours. And then I think I could take the sling off after 48 hours. I think I might have to still keep the arm in this position, though. And then the gauze cast comes off on June 11th. And I can't work for almost the whole month of June till like June 23rd. And I can't lift things, I can't lug things, and I can't get the cast wet for, I think, maybe until it comes off. So yeah, that's it. But that's my story of the ulnar nerve decompression. So she said it was really, really bad after she did the surgery, the doctor. She said, you needed this to be done. There was so much nerve damage, and they had to shave some of the bone in the elbow because it was blocking the nerve. But she goes, you may not get full sensation back in the pinky, which I understand. But hopefully I don't get this like, ooh, it hurts, I gotta get acupuncture. Ooh, it's hurting in my elbow. Ooh, it's hurting in my pinky. Ooh, it's hurting between my fingers. Between my thumb and my pinky, or my pointer, or my pinky and my ringer. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? So hopefully that kind of stuff goes away. Even though the sleepy pinky might still be there, at least it'll be a little better. So, hey, that's about it. That's my ulnar nerve decompression story.